Hello everybody, my name is Trollmaker and Happy New Year. And we ring in the new year with the finals of the Clash of the Clans 2 tournament. We've all been very excited for this. Playing as the blue pact up four, we have the No Unit clan who have been smashing through the tournament and have arrived at the finals via the winner's bracket. Representing them, we have Werner, Weinhold, Shifu, General Jaja, Binks, and Lemiux. And their opponents, having successfully conquered the loser's bracket, now arriving at the finals, we have the Penguin Liberation Front, the PLF clan, and their members include SikkeSakke, SikkeSakke, and Jareth and Hyo. I really took the whole feeling out of that. It was almost epic. Anyway, the map here is 3 Mile Island, which for some time was bugged. They fixed it, and now it's awesome. It's a very awesome map. It's obviously been airland battleized, but it's still quite good. One of the big things about this map, of course, was how treacherous flanking is in the middle. There's a little path here. It has these nice little mountain thingies to obscure vision, and that means that if you come across this bridge, the second that you pass here, oh my god, you become completely visible, so there's no flanking in the middle. This is all about control of your units and possibly spamming infantry. Undecided. Building placements, of course, on this one are interesting. There's this big, giant nuclear reactor in the middle. Is that a reactor? I think it's a nuclear. There's nothing really in here, and honestly, it's probably not nuclear power considering this is Norway. But we do have lots of nice buildings. This is the middle point, and so there are some kind of like interesting flanking things you can do with infantry in the middle here. Looking at the unit loadouts here. Lots of ground-based forces here, a couple of helicopters, not too many from SikkeSakke, and lots of AT, actually. Anti-tank weaponry is going to be the choice here, and a TO-55 for the anti-infantry option. Doesn't look like a single flamethrower infantry has been deployed on this side, and this is all going to be anti-tank and anti-air, so we're going to go very heavy on the double A's, the AA and the AT, and, well, I guess AA is the double A. But absolutely no flamethrower infantry. And I emphasize flamethrower infantry because that's sort of become a niche of play that has kind of stuck out in the game, and also not seeing any here from No Unit. Now, of course, the holidays did happen. This game was played January the 3rd of 2014. God, I didn't think I'd live this long. Okay, yeah. No flamethrower infantry, in fact, are going to be coming out here, and a lot of infantry from both sides. So, interesting. Both have picked out a TO-55, a fast 4. But both have relatively similar size. Looks like a slightly better helicopter choice here by No Unit, but it's also more expensive, so that's something to keep in mind. More expensive means you have less units on the map. And they're favoring these T-72s, which I as well am favoring. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and speed up this little bad boy as I take 5,000 screenshots accidentally. And let's get this game started, because this is the finals. So, there we go. Now, how many aircraft will we see? We have 1 and a 2 from PLF. Any kind of delayed aircraft coming out? No unit, interestingly, not going to go for any kind of air units. In fact, we have 5, 6 versus a mere 4, 5. Okay, No Unit. You win. And as you can see here, there is something to airplane micro. You want to spread them out so that they can shoot different times. You want to make sure that all their rockets will hit 1 unit. And looks like a nice bit of units getting picked off here by No Unit, using, of course, these MiG-23 MFs. They have their Molinars, which do quite a bit of damage, and able to get a pretty good amount of pot shots in here. Not a ton of ground-based AA. All the AA, of course, for PLF were in those helicopters, so they'll need to land them pronto. And speaking of pronto, we have a Tunguska at the top, which of course is not really going to be too useful right now. And so currently air control seemingly going to no unit. They are so happy with this to bring up the Yak, and I believe this one has a HE bomb, I believe. And we'll see him drop it on what? Maybe the town here, this little town. Looks like that will be the target. There is a helicopter here, might get picked up, but oh my god, good AA shot here, and maybe it's clusters. In fact, it is. VDF gets stunned, no real damage taken by it, and the big bulk of the forces, which you would love to hit, is in fact gone. And these MiGs are just continuing to do ridiculous amounts of damage. Got those infrared rockets just firing on whatever they can and spinning around in circles, picking up their targets. And it looks like the map has relatively spread out, 50-50 at the moment. Lots of infantry coming in here for Werner Weinhold. Going to try and challenge this VDV, which is trying to pick off. He might get a good kill. One kill so far, and doesn't quite get the second one, but he did trade, so that's a big key here. T-64s will do a little bit of support, but shouldn't be able to do too much, as this little gateway is... What is going on here? What is C-77 doing? What is this? Oh, this must be a misclick. Absolutely has to be a misclick. Might have been trying to do something cute there. A little bit of a delay by no unit in grabbing this Juliet location. In fact, a little bit of delay in picking up a lot of bases by PLF, actually. These 2-point bases are, of course, key and are currently being drained out. They favor going for more forces so they can push forward, which works out quite well, except when you have forfeited this position to your enemy. Modus Jellikies are in the position here. Should get most of these cleared out, but not without doing quite a bit of damage. We should see some commands come out here from PLF relatively soon to try and grab these 2-point bases. But for now, no unit is absolutely bleeding them out. And unfortunately, their money plan hasn't worked out too well. A lot of their helicopters seemingly have been destroyed in the middle base as the infantry will push up. And with this awesome helicopter support, and as I said, the helicopters matter. I mean, they chose these THS Mi-24s, which have the ability to shoot up. That is, they have the ability to shoot at other helicopters. Speaking of MiG coming in for a pot shot, will he survive? Oh, baby, FJB's got a stun on him. And he will, in fact, live with 2 hit points. A meager 2 hit points. Wait. It died. It actually died. With just 2 hit points, it almost would have survived. PLF is looking pretty bad right now. They're playing from behind, and they can possibly continue to pound into this location. I mean no unit. And grab this Charlie base. No unit, of course, hasn't really seen a challenge of this tournament. They were one of these guys that were just doing exceptionally well in ESL, and then holidays came and exams came, and they dropped off the map. And Clash of Clans 2, like, they didn't really see a competition. They just stomped people. This is probably the closest match we will see. It's close because realistically there's still a challenge here. And oh my god, no way! Command armor has been spotted by a single infantry carrier. It does get picked off, but not without spotting. He now knows it's here. Here comes a helicopter to try and intercept, try to get some good pot shots off. This will be a big moment. There's actually a land here on the helicopters. He gets to change the altitude before firing here and trying to get pot shots off. Is there a jet fighter coming? He's got it stunned with only 3 hit points. He knows where it is. He knows it's in these bushes. And that information is going to be very important for when the bombers come out. Those Yak bombers are very cheap and in decent supply. Here comes the Grenzer getting shot down by the BTR-70. Or not. Looks like the BTR-70 is on the move command. And here comes a second command, a tank command actually moving towards the middle base. And he's going to want to neutralize it by putting a command right over here. And as you can see, he's got air everywhere. These fast stuff for air being anti-air everywhere. Making good use of them, clearly, by the fact that they're completely out of ammunition. And here comes a BT-70. Oh, this is crazy. It was let all the way through. Tank saw it and everything. It spots the command. It shouldn't be able to kill this command. But having said that, weirder things have happened. Most of the bullets so far bouncing off. T-72 is coming in to try and intercept this. We have a little bit of artillery and MiGs coming in as well. A little bit of an overreaction, but, I mean, there's some things you just can't risk. Your commands are one of those. And should shortly, oh my god, the MiG came in. Oh no, Jareth, no! Of course, a big tip for newer players. And when you right click on something, that's just to send it out. Your second command should be a fire position command, just to make sure that you hit the target. But anyway, that's pretty brutal. Could have got a free kill there. Here comes some Yak 38s. These are the ones that I thought were having here. These should be our HE bombs. And one goes down, and the second one will get the payload off. Ah! Actually, I was wrong. That's apparently the napalm one. Command force move just slightly. I don't think I don't believe the napalm actually hit him, but having said that, I mean, that's a risk you don't want to take. Yak coming in and going to drop a little bit of napalm. Is this the one with the napalm? This looks kind of napalmy. No, that was definitely the cluster bomb. Correction, napalm. Nope. I'm so confused right now. There's so many freaking good uses for those Yaks right now. And here we're talking the napalm infantry. Kind of a staple coming in. This course will be a great place to stage some AT. Just to grab positions here. Command being forced move just ever so slightly. Good pick off though, and MiGs are coming in to do a little bit of support, picking off whatever vehicles they can. The big story right now is a pretty sizable lead here by no unit, almost up by about 200 points. And PLF's Gambit may or may not work out. It's coming hard to say right now. There's no base here at India. And that's pretty much the only reason why no unit's not bleeding them right now. And there is a command coming out here. Pretty cheap one. Just trying to hold these positions. This southern flank here, of course, is insanely vulnerable right now. They're into this forward location. There are some hedgerows for cover, and there is a little bit here. But this is their reinforcement point. And if they can get into one of the two lanes, which is, this is one lane, and this is the other. If they can get into either of those lanes, that's a lot of problems for reinforcements and a lot of problems for positions. And oh my god, here comes a suicide to kill nothing and actually able to survive. So still worthwhile all in all. Trying to do a little bit of guesswork, trying to guess where this command might be. It's in a really awkward location right now and definitely very non-realistic. And here's a sapper. These guys are absolutely sickly. Got that napalm sapper reaction. Might get picked off, but not without dropping ridiculous amounts of fire. A ring of fire, if you will, around the ring of Motilus Tuerkis. And yes, they are in fact in a ring, the traditional form of the Motilus Tuerki army of Mother Russia. Is it Mother Russia? It's Mother Russia! I've been away for a bit, obviously. 2 weeks, actually. Power outages on and off. Having to light a fire in the backyard to stay warm. Pretty brutal all around stuff as T-64s are crushing into this position. There is these one group of Motilus Tuerkis from Werner Weinhold, which is securing the ground and basically stop the southern attack. Now, what do we have going on up north? Looks like lots of fun, lots of good action. We have a T-80U. This is a really rare unit these days. Coming out. Sacrificing a vehicle of the infantry here, and here comes a helicopter, a little mini helicopter in here from Ohio. These have moderate amounts of effectiveness when targeted to things they can do really well, and they're not expensive. They do a lot of bursty damage, and they're not expensive, so they can pick off a couple of targets. They end up being worthwhile pretty well. Obviously, you want to get those commands with them, but I mean, getting 1 or 2 anti-infantry units is definitely a huge help. As the angle skirmishing T-80U, in the old meta, of course, you'd use your T-80U to fire at the enemy, pull back after taking so much damage, and then restock with, I don't need your help, I can do this, supplies. Yes, indeed. And that's exactly what he's going to do here. And that's a really old way of playing. It's not super effective anymore, but having said that, we'll have to see what PLF has to pull out now. No unit is actually bleeding out PLF via the middle base. The Delta is a 2-point base, and there's not a lot of stuff here to contest this. He will be, or possibly could, slowly move up here. Might grab some AT in this location here just to stop any advances, but for now, this is a really secure base, putting a lot of pressure on PLF to do something. And this northern flank might realistically be their last hope. The T-80Us are very strong. They're very good at chipping away at the enemy. And we'll have to see if he makes maximum use out of those. Here comes a bomber. Dead as well. Looks like actually going to try and wipe out this tank here. with a lot of air forces, and just narrowly missing. Well, it's kind of hard to guess, and the location here is actually like ridiculously good. I mean, look at this. 2 nuclear silos, he's between them, and this is almost intargetable. So very crazy good positioning here by no unit. One of the big advantages of having a clan, of course, is the fact that you have tons of practice partners. And you can figure stuff like this out pretty easily. Now here comes another bomber. It's going to do a little bit of anti-infantry damage, looks like. Not going to quite be able to hit the tank, the command tank that is. And basically he's just guessing. He's not actually looking to kill the infantry. He's looking to get that command armor, because that's the big thing right now. And if you can flush it out, he can do a lot. And this is actually a pretty brutal area for a T-80U. He's trying to cut in here, and there's a similar tactic here. There's one flank here, which is big open area, and then there's a second one here. And if you can cut into either of those, you're pretty darn good. There is a Tunguska staged here. It's an awkward position. I don't know why they don't have more here to stop it, I think. And Lemiux says attack. I guess he means these conquerors. He wants a bomber. Lemieux? I don't see a bomber. So he can't want a bomber. He just wants that thing killed by any means necessary. And a T-80U trophy would be pretty good at this point. Now keep in mind, this is pack versus pack. This is the rarest of the rarest. And I'm almost certain if these players could choose, both these players would choose NATO. They would both choose the Allies because of how absolutely potent they are. But the format of the tournament actually forces you to choose this faction. And oh my god, 5 hit points left. Lots of rockets coming. And T-80U isn't that going to go down. That is a huge loss. And will probably hurt SikkeSakke quite a bit. I mean, you don't get too many T-80Us. And they just... I'm almost certain they just reduce the number you can get. So, I mean, that's going to hurt a lot. But here comes a anti-air unit. What are you doing here, anti-air unit? Aren't you just going to die to this Tunguska over here? Is that not what you're here for? And he turns around, realizing it's a bad move. And, yeah, this is kind of been how the whole tournament's been going. No unit, of course, have been absolutely crushing all their competition. And they've more or less figured out this map. This map is a lot about this. Holding these, and this middle base. They realize if you can push past and get this, you can do this. And dear God, that positioning is so sexy. So sexy. Running out of options here for PLF, as Binks has got a specialny Jednotsky. No, there's no K, no S in there. Jednotsky. Moving around. I've never even seen this. Where are you from? Apparently Chile. I didn't even know they had Chilean units in this game. But apparently, according to this flag here, he's from Chile. So that's rather unusual. Good job, Eugen, for putting in Chilean units, by the way. And look like he's going to try and do a little bit of backdoor action. Not sure how far he's going to go with this. He's moved this around quite a bit. He can go in here, climb up this creepy area here, and go for this command. And yeah, that really looks like the only option here. Of course, infantry are the only units who can cross by this area. Of course, he has been, so spotted right now by this one recon helicopter. Ohio. You pretty much just saved the team. And it looks like SikkeSakke is going to bring in some helicopters to try and deal with this. And we have some aircraft coming in to try and whittle this away as well. One round goes off, and threat mostly eliminated. I mean, they still have total vision of this thing creeping across the field, obviously. And that is crazy that he got this far into enemy territory without being destroyed. Doesn't quite have a foothold yet. Still just kind of picking off units, and things are not looking good for PLF at all. We're at the 66 2/3 point in the game. It is brutal. It is very, very brutal. We got some napalm coming this location. Just trying to get anything he can. Wants to get this Pizric Igla so badly, but gets supplies, which is still good. Because that's something that actually costs money. You'll have to get him more. TO55 will get the Moto Strelky in exchange. About a fair trade, as far as I'm concerned. And, oh my god. Bombageddon. Will they do the damage? Looks like a complete miss. Actually didn't get a single target here. Oh my god, warning for 70%. And I think flares have to be going up for PLF so far. So they've only been able to achieve a bleed effect for 7 seconds. Or not even 7 seconds. Well, it could have been 7 seconds. It couldn't have been 7 seconds. That's ridiculous. It would have been like 2 seconds. They would have been bleeding them for 2 seconds or 3 seconds, but not 7 seconds. And big push coming in here. And I gotta put big in like quotation marks because it's a TDU, and the TDU is big, but the army is actually quite small. So, I mean, it is a big push only because the TDU is there, but realistically, it's not that big of an army. And trying to support with a lot of aircraft. Not going to get too successful here, as he got 1 tank and he lost nothing. So he didn't lose anything, which is good, but he didn't make any progress. And we're at the point where progress will matter. These tactics of trading will not work for so long. 1 MiG goes down. Remember, there's lots of AA here. He can't go in too far. He's got to pull us back. Shifu loses 1 fighter. Will he lose the other? With pretty much no ground AA here to try and support against this MiG-27, who has just been so good. Such a good boy. Got a few tank kills, got a helicopter killed by pulling him into base, and looks like he'll be pulling out after just spinning around for too long. MiG-23 is trying to catch him, though. Oh my god, get him just before, and he's out of there. Binks super fast on that shotgun, and things are not going so well. 1 hit point left on this SU. Oh my god, it just barely gets away, looks like. And what the hell is going on here? Looks like we have this flank on this other area. Like I said, there's 2 lanes. This is 1 lane. This is the other lane. But unfortunately, Lemiux is just so good. Oh yeah, there's Binks. He's good too, I guess. He's actually completely prepared for this. He's got a tank push actually invading now. And Tunguska will go down. There's another anti-air vehicle here, that ZU-23. A variant of it used to be very popular, but has since fallen into obscurity. We have a BMP-3 firing some rockets. Will they get any good hits? No, they won't. And these tanks should be able to crush most of this. There is a single T-80U here, but it only has 2 hit points left. He's desperately getting these Ural 3750 cargos to try and replenish the hit points, but it probably won't be in time. These tanks, these now infantry, are going to come up here and crush. And we have a call for attack from Lemiux. He doesn't see the scoreboard. He doesn't realize how ahead he is. Looks like they're bleeding by 3 now. So something else happened here. Looks like a random bombing. Could be artillery, but it's definitely looking very bad. +3. We can officially declare the winner of this tournament. The grand champions of the Clash of the Clans 2 tournament will in fact be the No Unit Clan. Congratulations, Werner, Weinhold, Shifu, General Jaja Binks, and Lemiux. So, it's with my pleasure to do a little bit of community news in the next little bit of time that we have left. First and foremost, there will be a continuation of ESL sometime, not announced yet, but there will be. Next up in the news, newest tournament is going to be a 3v3 tournament. It is the 3v3 tournament of glorious design. Korea will not be involved, so it can't be that glorious. But having said that, it will be a 3v3 tournament, so it'll be a little bit easier. And there's already tons of teams signed up. They were actually waiting for this tournament to end before they begin that tournament. The format is very cool. Myself and Rangaru will both be covering the tournament. And there's going to be a lot of matches, so how we do the tournament will vary. We'll solo cast some, we'll co-cast others, we might recruit other co-casters if people are interested. What else do we have? I will be doing modded games. I'll be using community mods with a few people in the community, and I'll be trying to do it about once a week or so. Do we got everything? I think that's all the community news. Oh, I forgot the most important thing of all. Most Happy New Year's. Focus Home Entertainment, Interactive, and Eugen Systems. See you guys in the next tournament.